Hello friends and Assalamualaikum. Welcome to my channel. I be your designing developer. My name is Inshal Beg. I am a full stack developer and graphic designer. Today I will show you how to build one notebook in in Django in Python. And I hope you will also enjoy this project like in German previous projects of Node.js in JavaScript. And today we will be just starting with our Python series with Django, or you can say Django series with Python, because now we will be just covering up not the Python videos, we'll be just now covering up Django videos with Python, which will be really helpful for you. Like previously when we are just doing Python projects in Python, like many of the things which we have done like data sciences project and AI project, so that project was in backend, you can just see. So you can't see in front end like you can see in HTML and CSS like that. So today I will show you a notebook which we'll be making in Python with Django, and it should be a front end notebook. We'll be not making it at the back end like we see in terminal when we just run. So it should be just really a front end work, and I can also show you in Google Chrome when I will be just open, so that all things which we are just making, it will be really helpful for you if you want to learn Django, and if you want to start many of like Django series like I am doing. So just these videos are really helpful for you, which will be just coming up, because now our first project is of Django and you have to just focus on Django because there are two frameworks of Python which we have to cover up. First we'll be cover up Django, then secondly we will be just covering up another framework which is called like you can say that Flutter, but Flutter is an other thing like that, so you can just say Flask. Flask is also a like framework of Python which you have to use to make a website like thing or any other project, or API you can also use, but in the front end I'm about saying it is not at the back end. If you want to make thing at the back end, so you can only use Python to make, but we are working at the front end of things, so because of that I'll be using Django with that with Python, so I can just see and make a thing in the front end, so you can also see how we have just made. So that videos are will be helpful for you, so just see that videos, and I hope you will be enjoying that. So now we'll be starting with our project. So now, like I'm telling you, we'll be just making a notebook in Django with Python, which will be really helpful for you. And for making a work and for making anything in the Django, you have to just use a text editor like we use. So you can just use any text editor which you want to, like PyCharm or any other one. So for using a Django, if you're using Django with Python, so you have to use a VS Code text editor, which is a really good text editor for using a framework language, or you can say framework programming language, and it will be really helpful for you. So just use VS Code here, and if you want to use PyCharm, so you can also use that, but PyCharm is only made for Python if you are working with Python or any other project with Python if you're beginner. So you can use PyCharm for that, but still we are working with Django now with Python, so we can just use VS Code and we can start with VS Code to just work on with Django projects, because VS Code is a fully beginner project text editor which you can just use to work on any other language you want to learn, or you want to learn from beginner to advanced. So that text editor is really good for you, so just download that from Google. It is really easy. Just go to Google Chrome and write VS Code, and I will be also showing you how to do that. Just move to Google Chrome, then just write here like Google. So just first of all open your Google browser, then just write here like VS Code. Then when you will be writing that, so at the first link you will be getting your Visual Studio Code. You can also purchase that if you want like more good features and many other quality in that, so you can just purchase that here. But if you want like simple text editor community one, so you can just only download for Windows. And if you are using like Mac or Linux, so you can just download for that also. You can see here it is another platform here to just use here, so you can download. Or if you don't have 64 version, because there are two bits of Windows like 64-bit and 32-bit. If you're using 32-bit, so just press this install to install. If you're using 64-bit, so just use this one to install. Okay, so like that you have to install that, and then you will just do it all thing. Just close this Google Chrome now, because we don't have to wait with that. Just now I'll be opening my VS Code here when you have installed that. So just open that here, and you can see now my VS Code has been opened. So here we have to just make a Django file in Python. So first of all, for making a Django file, first of all go to file, press new file here. Then when you're done with that, just go to file again, and you have to press save button, because first of all we have to save our file, then we have to start with our coding which we want to do. So just, and first of all you have to select the location where you have to just save your file here. So I will be just selecting local disk app if I do that. So just move down enough and just change its name. So here I will be writing name like Django dot, and then I will be writing here like py. Okay, so here we'll be just saving that file in Python. So when you're done with that, just move here, and from here also you can just select a file and save it here, but it will be just not containing a Django and Python file, so you can just save simply by writing py here, then move on to work with that. So here I'll be now coming, and you can see we have just written Django.py. Then I will be just saving this file, or if I write a thing which should be like Django, and if I just save that in local disk F, so you can see this txt file is coming because there is not any of the file which is called django.txt. So first of all, I will be just like deleting this file here because we are just not containing any file which is called Django dot Django. So here I'll be now deleting that, and I'll be also deleting from my recycle bin, so it will be not really good enough to do. So just I'll be opening VS Code again, then I will be saving that in Python file simply. So here I'll be now writing django.py, then I will be going to local disk F and saving that. So you can see now we are getting a Python logo here because we have just saved this file in a Python one. So here I'll be zoom in so you can just see the codes which I am just working on in Python. So just you have to move here. First of all, you have to import some of the things like we have done in the previous project. So move here and write a tag which should be like import, and then you have to write that to like OS. Then move here and write import again, and you have to just change that to like import time, import date time. So if you have installed many of the things like that, so you will be not just want to install that again. But if you have not installed that, so you have to install in your terminal by just writing pip install, then you have to write the library, your package name, and then you have to press enter. It will be take some time and it will be take install. So it depends on your internet or PC. Like if your PC is slow, so it will be take some time, or if your internet is slow, so it will be also take some time. And if you want to install anything in your Python in VS Code, so it will be just take internet to install that. If you are using low internet, so nothing happens, it will be installed. But if you are downloading a big package or library, you have to need more than enough internet to just install that here on your PC. If you are just not containing internet, so nothing happens, you can just move from beginner, like beginner things which will be just covering in the forward things, which will be really helpful for you also if you are beginner and want to learn Django and want to become a Django full stack developer. Like we have learned Node.js also, you can just check my Node.js projects also which we have done here. So just I'll be now moving here, we have just import these three things, then you have to move down and write a tag which will be just like, okay, so we have to don't use any of the tag like that. So we have to just move here, and then I will be writing that to a tag which should be like time equal, then you have to just containing a random tag dot, then just write here like circle, then you have to make this bracket. First of all, just move here and erase that, then I'll be just writing a random, and I'll be writing a random notebook. So now you will be thinking like I'm just writing this because we are just making a notebook, and I'm just making a beginner project to advanced, which projects will be really helpful for you. So first of all, we are making a notebook which is a really small project, but I am just telling you for beginners so you can just understand what tags and things we need to just work with our Django project. So we have just written like random notebook, then you have to move forward, which we have just done now, then move here, and now you have to write a thing which will be just like move down again. Then when you've done with that thing, just write here input, make a bracket here, then you have to write here like first of all like this tag, then you have to write it will contain text. Okay, so you can just only save a text file in your notebook which we are making, because we are just only containing text file, and like we have just save a Python file here, it is also containing a text file, Python file, many other languages file. So you can just use a notebook to just work on like a text editor, but there are many other text editor like notebook, so you can just install and just move on work with that, so that you can just work on. So here I'll be now moving, then I'll be importing a ticketer. So this ticketer is like a thing which you can just use at the front end if you want in Python. So you can use a ticketer tag to just move on and work with that. It is really also a good like thing which you can just use at the front end. So it will be just open like a tab, and then it will be showing you the thing which you have made with the help of Django in Python. So when you're done with the text, now you have to move down here, then you can see we have just written that all things which we need to do. Then I will be just moving down again, and here I will be now printing this input here. because in Python we have to also print a thing which we are just writing. So we have print this input. Now we have to print random also, in which we have written notebook. So you can see we have just done with that things here. Now you have to move down and then you have to write a tag which will be just like uh, book equal. Then you have to write an input, make this, and then you have to write here like note. Okay, so you have to just write te note, don't write de because it's called note and it is just different like note. So you have to take care about the spelling mistake which you are just making. So when you're done with that, just you have to write a note book. Just take it differently because we are just making a gap, so we can just remember this is the note thing which we are just making and this is a book thing. So when you're done with that, just move, then write note equal and just take the opposite of that here. Like at the top we have written notebook, so at the opposite we'll be just writing book note. Okay, so you can see we have written opposite of that at the top which we have written. Just I'll be now moving down, I'll be printing both things here. Just write book and then print note. Okay, so just do that all things and you can see we have done with that. So just you have to move down here, take care about one thing. Like if you're a beginner, so sometimes we just do one thing, we just make two strings here, then we just write the thing. If you have to write this two strings then write the thing, it will be just only printing in the means it will be just a tag. You can see this is a tag thing which we are just writing. If I write here book, simply I'm just showing for example, I'm just not writing, it's not a tag. Just take care, this thing is different, this thing is different. Okay, so take care about that. And if I write here like this tag here, okay, and if I just define like book here, so there are two book, one is simple book and is a tag book in which we have written a big tag, and then second one is simple. So how can you just remember like what is second one and what is first one? It will be just really confusing for you. So if you are writing in strings, okay, so if I write this in strings, so it will be just printing only book, okay, because we have just written in the string. We have also written a book tag in a big tag, so it is not printing the tag, it is only printing a book because we are just written in the strings. If I erase the string, then I just run that on terminal, so it will be just running these all tags which we have written in the book because we are just defining a tag. When you are defining a simple one word or letter, so you have to write two strings in that, then define. If you are just defining a tag, so you have to just only write a tag name. You don't have to write any strings after that or before that. So when you're done with that, just save here things and you can see we have just done with that here. So if I just move down, then you have to move here again and then write a thing which will be just like here like Django. Then equal, I will be writing that to a tag which will be like notebook simply. So right here notebook and then you have to write these brackets. So when you're done with that, save here, and now I will be running my ticketer here. So just right here, first of all we'll be defining our location where we have just save our file local text app. Then I will be writing like django.py, press enter. So you can see now it will be take some time and it will be running. So now we are just getting a tab notebook. If I open that, so you can see we are just getting our notebook here, like in which we are just getting a file. Then we are getting edit option, format option, view and help. You can see many other things we are getting. Then if I just zoom in, so we are just also getting our letter pick. If I just write one thing like hello, my name is Insha. If I write that, so you can see now it is just written here, and we can't just save this file in like any programming language or any other language. We can only save it in txt file if you want to save that. But if you don't want to, so you can just save anything if you want to write or save that in your notepad or notebook. So you can just save that here. And in Windows, you are also containing notepad like that. You can see, so it will be really helpful for you if you want to just learn more these things like that. So you can see we have just successfully made a notebook here, or you can say notepad also because at the top I've written notepad. So like that you can just build, and if I just write any other thing, you can write more than enough thing, unlimited things you can just write in that you want to. So it's your choice where you have to just write. So here I will be writing like I am making video. So you can see like that you can just do and work with these things. You can see that how good looking is that. So like that you can do that all things. And sorry about like I am not uploading videos since 2 days. So because of I am not uploading because I was just busy in some of the work, and I am also not having some of the videos which I have to make, and because of that I want to search about some of the projects of Django. Then I'm just covering up these projects, and now my videos will be now coming daily, and that all will be really helpful for you, so don't care about that now. So just practice that all project we are working with, and successfully we made a notepad. And you can also you can see it is just giving the option if you want to save or not, so I'll be pressing don't save. So like that you can build your own notebook or notepad tag in Python in Django. So I hope you understand how to build one notepad in Python, and I hope you also enjoy this project like in general previous projects of Node.js in JavaScript. So just practice it all project we are working with. I hope you'll be a good programmer at that, and I'll be also bringing up like these project for beginners. It will be also coming up intermediate and advanced. That all will be really helpful for you. So just I'll be meeting you in next project. So for today, goodbye.